Brian was born to Command Sergeant Major Stephen McCarty and Marcia McCarty in Columbus, Georgia at Fort Benning Army Hospital. After a short stint in Georgia, McCarty moved to the town of Southington and attended Southington Elementary through kindergarten, and then moved to South Meriden and attended Hanover Elementary School. McCarty grew up in a loving home with 3 siblings, brothers Christopher and Joel, as well as his sister, Tamara. Growing up, McCarty enjoyed playing youth sports in the small west end of Meriden. He played many sports such as football, soccer, baseball, and basketball. It was through youth sports that he gained many lifetime friendships and life experiences prior to high school. Coached by the great Ken Teller, McCarty was a part of a dominant youth baseball team, E.M. Benson, and won a Basketball League MVP award.
So Brian and I go literally way back to childhood. We were Cub Scouts together. We literally grew up not even a quarter of a mile away from each other. So we are lifelong friends. We did everything from, like I said, Cub Scouts to baseball, Little League in South Meriden, to middle school, to high school, and we really became better friends in high school.
Grew up pretty much in the same neighborhood, and families have known each other for years. So yeah, my relationship, much like most of the people here, I think it spans the wrestling room and beyond.
In high school, he continued his participation in athletics, playing 4 years for the legendary coach Richard Katz in the sport of baseball, and 1 year on the gridiron under Tom Ryan. It was during his sophomore year that his life would change forever. After being unable to participate in football due to an injury, McCarty was looking for a place to belong. That place became the Panther Pit in the winters. Recruited by his good friend Brett Teller, Brian joined a small team coached by Dan and John Smith. He fit right in and bought into the wrestling mindset of hard work first. As a beginner in the sport of wrestling during sophomore year, McCarty was able to earn a varsity spot for the next 3 years through his weekly wrestle-offs.
So Coach McCarty was always a great effort guy who was, being in that middle of the weight classes, was always in a tough weight class. He had guys that they were tough. It's just the way the sport works. When you get into those midweights, you just have more wrestlers to compete against. And he was always close, but could never quite get that brass ring. Ran into some very tough competitors year after year. Great effort guy, good technique. I mean, there's never a doubt of him. You weren't going to outwork him, but yet there was always somebody that was just a little bit better than him as a wrestler.
While never a standout among truly talented wrestlers, he continued to grow and mature in the sport. During the junior year, he was one of only 8 wrestlers to compete in the Class S championships, and with a couple of wins, helped the team place second overall. With the ever-changing coaching staff, McCarty saw an opportunity in the 91-92 season and applied to become the head coach. At the tender age of 18, McCarty was hired by A.D. Ray Fortier and Principal Tim Gaffney as the new head coach of the Platte Panthers.
I mean, one of the things that I definitely remember about Brian as a coach was his enthusiasm. You know, up until this day, you know, I've stopped by from time to time over the years, and you know, that enthusiasm that he's had as a coach and for the wrestling team has always been there. You know, the wrestling program as a whole, you from where we came from as far as you know, struggling to get a full team and having enough guys to have every weight class up until, you know, where it is now, having, you know, probably 3 times as many as wrestlers on the team now as we did back then. It's just a testament to, you know, his dedication to the program and how much he's done for just the town of Meriden in general.
In the early years of his coaching, McCarty found support in the legion of coaches that helped shape his program. Hall of Fame coaches Ken DeStephanis and Jim Day opened their gyms to McCarty. Local rivals such as Scott Inman, Oz Ramos, Derek Dion, Paul Musso, and Mark Fong also shared resources. Louis Murillo and Glenn Gitterman helped the grassroots formation of Platte Wrestling as McCarty worked with the Meriden Youth Wrestling Program.
Hi, I'm Derek Dion. I'm the head coach at Southington High School. I've been here for 31 years competing with Brian. He's always been a class act and an excellent competitor. We've had many competitions over the years, and it's always a pleasure to be on the other side of the mat as him.
By 1994, Platt was able to break the school record for wins, and McCarty garnered the first of his many individual class champions. In 1995, McCarty was acknowledged as one of the top 500 coaches in America. In 2001 and 2002, McCarty was able to coach outstanding wrestlers Matt Cattell and Louis Morello Jr. at the Class M Championships.
I mean, Coach McCarty taught me always be intense, always be passionate about what you do. He was a very passive-aggressive coach, so you really didn't see the excitement come out of him during the match. But he always taught us to keep our heads cool, keep wrestling, keep doing what we're doing, and you know, just look for the win because it's you versus the opponent.
As the years moved on, and with McCarty in the driver's seat, the Panthers made a name for themselves as a competitive team. During his 31 years, McCarty has been able to be honored with such awards as the 2003 State Man of the Year Award from Wrestling USA Magazine, the 2012 Connecticut High School Coaches Association Connecticut Coach of the Year Award, and the National Wrestling Hall of Fame induction in 2022. McCarty currently ranks 5th in all-time wins among Connecticut wrestling coaches and posted his 500th victory at the Ray Southland Invitational earlier this year. McCarty credits the efforts of his co-coaches, Wes Johnson, Joe Winoski, Doug Stevenson, Joe DeBacco, Carl Baumgart, Mike Pfeiffer, and Rick Walsh as pillars to help the Platt Panther program succeed, as well as the legion of alumni that come back each winter to support the program.
I definitely have a lot of the same values that he has that he taught us, and how to carry ourselves in winning and losing, and how to treat our opponents and stuff.
You know, he still teaches me, you know, maybe not so much about wrestling anymore, but definitely, you know, how to be a leader, how to get young men and women, you know, to become great adults on and off the wrestling mat. You know, that's something he excels at, not just as teaching you how to wrestle, but teaching you how to be an adult, teach you how to be respectful and take care of what you need to take care of.
Coach McCarty continues to show his love for sports as he not only continues to coach the Panthers in the winters, but also the baseball team in the spring. In the fall, you can find him on Fridays announcing the football games. McCarty also coaches youth baseball and supports the local soccer club. In the summer of 1991, McCarty met the love of his life, Denise. According to McCarty, she makes his life complete and his day whole. Married in 1997, the two remained in Meriden, where they would raise their 3 children, Devin, Andrew, and Bryce. Coach McCarty enjoys watching his sons, Devin and Andrew, play college baseball, as well as Bryce playing his youth sports and arts. Besides his own family, parents, and siblings, he also loves family gatherings, including his in-laws, Jim and Kathy Chenard. As a product of the District of Meriden, Brian attended Hanover Elementary School, Lincoln Middle School, and Platt High School. His endeavors in college include an associate's from Middlesex, a bachelor's from Central Connecticut, and a master's from the University of New Haven and Southern Connecticut. McCarty earned his teacher certification and administrator's certificate from Southern. Coach McCarty is currently employed by the Meriden Board of Ed and works at Platt High School as a department leader for special education.
It's just incredible that you know, everything that he's done, not only for the program here at Platt, but just for Meriden wrestling in general. You know, I don't think you can possibly think of wrestling in Meriden without thinking of Brian, because of everything that he's done for the program.
He's just a leader of a group of men, and that's what we were. We looked up to him, we respected every decision he made, and it was just go out there and try your hardest and, you know, hope to beat that man across from you.
Wonderful family guy, and listen, the Hall of Fame is lucky to have him.
We're just, you know, I'm proud to call him my friend, and proud to be competing with him every year. And I'm just so happy that he's been getting all these accolades, because he deserves it.
He's achieved a lot, and you'll never hear him talk about it. You know, anytime you try to, you know, especially like 500 wins and him getting into the Hall of Fame, you know, we try to hype it up, try to make a big deal about it. He wants no part of that. He cares about the kids and, you know, the athletes versus, you know, making sure his name is plastered somewhere. It's his achievements. It's all about the kids for him.
Congratulations on making the Hall of Fame. Well deserved. You're the best coach that I've ever had. And all the kids that you coach now and the kids you teach at the school, they're all lucky to have you. Congratulations.